welcome back to a regular edition of the Musings. No more hot stove to talk about, pretty much, as we get you rolling into the 2025 campaign. Of course, a big winning weekend for Detroit City FC. Let's start off with the women first. The women traveled to Portage to take on Kalamazoo United FC. But Detroit City had a little bump in the road. They were down 2-0 before Tatiana Mason scored this one to put Detroit City down a goal 2-1. They went up to 3-1, and then they came back 3-3 going into the second half. Two more goals there. Kayla Addison also scored for Detroit City as they roll on to a 6-3 victory over Kalamazoo United. And of course, the undefeated Detroit City keeps on keeping on. They take on Indiana United this coming Saturday night, 7 o'clock at the Hammond Sportsplex to finish out their regular season, and then it's on to the playoffs. They'll be taking place down in Urbandale, Iowa. That will be coming up at the end of the month. So they just keep on keeping on. Danny Evans and her squad dominating in the MASLW's Great Lakes North Division. And of course, the other news coming on Saturday night, Detroit City FC traveled down to Miami to take on Miami FC, or the Miami FC. Didn't sound so important after Saturday night, though. I mean, dominating performance by Detroit City FC as they defeated the Miami FC by a score of 2-0. Michael Bryant got the goal scoring going for Detroit City FC. His contribution came in the first half of play. As we take a look here, his contribution came in the 32nd minute of play prior to a red card, which Francisco Bonfiglio received in the 43rd minute. A very high kick to Bryant, as a matter of fact. We'll break down Michael Bryant's goal in a moment here. I got a nice little video coming up from the USL show, and Kaylor Hodges I want to share with you, breaking down that goal. Miami went to 10 men at that point, as you know, and they just dominated in all aspects of the game. Connor Rutz got his first goal of the year in the 87th minute of play, as you see right here. Detroit City with the 2-0 victory. 10 shots for Detroit City, 3 on target. Actually, it was 4 on target, but that's for those playing City Bingo. But yeah, needless to say, Detroit dominated in every facet of the game on Saturday night. Looking at the stats there, more shots on target, more big chances, accurate passes, 90% on the accurate passing scale, 571 total on the night for Detroit City FC. Fewer fouls committed for LaRouge as well. 634 passes were attempted, 571 complete. A complete, let's say, domination of the game. And as I did mention, 68% on the possession era for Detroit City FC. So, great performance tonight. We'll see if it holds over coming up on Saturday night as they take on Colorado Springs Switchbacks. The champs tied against El Paso last Saturday night down in El Paso. A late stoppage time goal right here was the difference in that game. However, though, this is not a Colorado Springs team that you should sleep on, as John Morsey now explains.
Colorado Springs wants to recreate last year's title form. They'll need to figure out a way to recreate Ronaldo Damas's scoring. We saw a chance at doing so this weekend with the fluidity of their midfield. Four attacking-minded midfielders hovered around the hub that is Juan Tejada as a hold-up striker, and really showed how the switchbacks can evolve in the 2025 season. Here you're seeing Tejada grinding in the right half space, getting touches, and making sure that those midfielders have the availability to push ahead and create chances in behind. Here it's Marco Micheletto, ostensibly a center midfielder, making that key run into the seam to replace Tejada as he holds up play. Ultimately, the result is going to be a penalty for Colorado Springs, evidence of how this team can grow in the new season.
And we thank you, John Morrissey. You can catch John Morrissey on the USL show every Tuesday night and read his stuff on Backheeled as well. Um, One of the elite beat writers in the USL Championship. Man knows what he's doing, obviously. So a little disagreement with some of the city folks about what he says, but he's very devoted and very concise as far as his tactics go and all that stuff. And one of the guys you want to go to is if you want to figure out the insides of the game for sure. So great job there by John Morrissey. And as I mentioned earlier, another video of what I'm sharing with you here, sort of like a review there. So we had a preview of Colorado coming up this Saturday. We got a review right now of Michael Bryant's header on Saturday night against the Miami FC, broken down by one Kaylor Hodges, also of the USL show.
Kick market, where we are going to be breaking down some set piece goals, and Detroit City has some clever design and a simple mistake by Miami that leads to a goal for Detroit City. So let's go ahead and break this down. Let's look at our starting formation. We have 5 players on the back post, where we have 2 in the back, 2 in the front, and 1 player in the middle, kind of creating this box formation. Our 2 players in the back kind of take a little step backwards to create space. And as they begin their run forward, there's a player who's at the top of the box, takes out 2 players. Think about like a mesh concept in American football where it beats man to man. You take out 2 players at once. Now, here's where the mistake is. Miami's player leaves his front post to try to attack this ball. Unfortunately, he misses, which leaves a wide open goal for Michael Bryant to slot it away at the near post, right where that Miami player was sitting. And it leads to a 1-0 lead for Detroit City FC.
Thank you, Kaylor, and you can catch him along with John Morrissey on the USL show every Tuesday night. Drops around 9 o'clock on YouTube. You can also listen to the program as well on wherever you hear your podcast, whether it be Apple, Spotify, all the major platforms as well. So they do a great job down on there, breaking down everything from USL Championship all the way down to USLW when you think about it, and that includes the Super League and League One and League Two as well. So everything USL you can find on that show right there every Tuesday night, right around 9 o'clock on YouTube, and of course day after on everything else. Big news coming out of the Detroit City system, and yesterday. Huron Valley Storm is now an affiliate of Detroit City FC. The travel soccer program will join the DCFC youth affiliates and now become known as Detroit City FC Huron Valley. The affiliation allows the city and the Storm to combine resources and serve a larger geographic area. And when I'm talking larger geographic area, I'm talking Western Oakland County, Eastern Livingston County there. I mean, you got a couple programs there. You got Legends in Brighton. You got Liverpool up in Heartland. Do I see a little competition there? Maybe. We'll see what happens in the near future. It'd be nice to see a bunch of Detroit City FC jerseys floating around my work as well, where I work at on a daily basis. So that'd be pretty cool. But the affiliation combines resources, serves a larger geographic area, providing additional accessible soccer development and training opportunities for all skills levels across the Huron Valley region. The partnership includes a structured player development pathway to Detroit City's first team, men's and women's, for the Huron Valley Storm travel players who compete across 10 premier and select recreational teams. As DCSC Youth Huron Valley, the club will be able to provide soccer programs tiered for grassroots, select, premier, high school, and college play, semi-pro, and professional levels. The program will have top-down high developmental, a top-down high level developmental approach and with a new curriculum and standards. The transition will begin starting with the tryouts in June of 2025 for the youth. One key member of this organization is Director of Coaching for the youth of Detroit City FC Huron Valley. One, Connor Rutz, native to the area, of course. Been with the club quite a few years. Congratulations to him as far as that role goes. And I was mentioning to him at the owners' meeting, I was like, oh, finally, Liverpool's got some competition in your area. I like it. And when I mentioned Liverpool, I see Liverpool juices all over the place in Heartland. Of course, Liverpool has an academy based out of Heartland, and it'd be great to see a lot of the Rouge and Gold coming into the area if they're coming into Myers to get a water bottle or get some snacks or whatever it is. I'd love to see that happen as well. I'd like to see a lot more Rouge and Gold than I would to see that other Chris. Yeah, you can tell I don't have a disdain for Liverpool. Kind of glad they left the Champions League yesterday too. Just saying, but I digress. But it's great to see Detroit City FC finally get more of a presence in the area. We already got DCFC Genesee, as you know, up north of me here in Flint, over in Grand Blanc, as a matter of fact. Also DCFC North. So now Detroit City FC is starting to grow inside the eastern part of the state of Michigan, and even further up north as well, as far up north as Saginaw is concerned. So the eastern side of the state of Michigan, when you look at the when you look at the map here, okay, I'm doing the wrong hand. When you look at this map here, this part of the state of Michigan, this side is becoming more Rouge and Gold. So nice to see that as far as soccer is concerned. Now we're established at a point. I played youth soccer back in the day myself. I was a defender for a couple years. Played with a team called the Cosmos in the first year of Brighton Youth Soccer. And in fact, it was the only year of Brighton Youth Soccer. It was a long time ago. And then it became the Brighton Soccer Club. I can't remember what team we were back then. It didn't seem as fun. Didn't have much fun in the second year that I did the first year. But first year it was great. I had a great time playing it. So this was like almost 50 years ago. Oh my god, I'm 54 right now, so it's like, oh my god, and I find passion of the game like another 40 years later or whatever. I digress. But yeah, like I said, a great experience though for the kiddos. And the thing is about Detroit City FC, they make it affordable for everybody. So it's great to see an affordable option coming around to the local area as well. I'm sure Liverpool's quite expensive. I'm sure with the affiliation and all that, and they've affiliated themselves with the Heartland Community Education there, and of course the Legacy down in Brighton. Good program there, but it's kind of expensive too. The thing is trying to make it accessible and affordable for all, and that's what Detroit City is set out to do. And they got some great people that'll be your teachers as far as learning the game as well. So Saturday night, Detroit City FC takes on Colorado Springs Switchbacks. You can catch that game on WKBD CW Detroit 50. That's a 6 o'clock kickoff as well. You can also catch it on CBSDetroit.com, anywhere inside the state of Michigan. Outside the state of Michigan, ESPN Plus has the game for you. But if you're not able to access a TV, guess what? You can listen to the game if you're a Sirius XM subscriber. That's right. They will be on Saturday night, 6 o'clock, Sirius XM FC channel 157. we'll have the radio call of that game. It's like, why don't we have a radio booth over at Keyword Stadium? That'd be freaking amazing if you have, play by play as far as that goes. But I mean, one can dream. We hope we'll see at the. But Keyword's such a small booth. It's bad. It's hard enough for just John and Neil to do their broadcast there, plus all the technical staff and all that stuff. But but I'm sure things will change once the new stadium comes about. We'll see what happens, and of course more on that in the coming months as well. But Saturday night we will have soccer night in Detroit from the clubhouse as well. Steve and I will break down the game, preview the game, as well as get you set for that one. Big night of Detroit City SC soccer as we got 2 games coming up. The men at 6 o'clock, the women at 7 o'clock. Not sure where the stream is going to be for that one or how much information we're going to have as far as getting that one goes. But we will have post-game analysis of both games on After Hours as well from the clubhouse on Saturday night. So stay tuned to that. Look for the preview coming. We're going to try for an hour before kickoff. We were a little bit a little bit hurried, so we got it to you a half hour before kickoff. Big lawn show on Soccer Night in Detroit, the preview show, and then I'll look for the after hours, probably Sunday morning, as we get you caught up on everything in the USL Championship and new wraparound segments to replace the scoreboard. Let's just put it that way. It gives you all the highlights of every other game that's going on in the USL. It's going to be one less this week because the other game that's will be taking place on Sunday. Battle between Birmingham Legion and the and Loose City. That's going to be, I think, the Sunday special down in Birmingham as they are facing inclement weather down there for Saturday night. They moved it to Sunday as a precautionary measure, which is a good move on Birmingham's part. But 10 games to cover on Sunday, including Detroit City's battle against the defending USL champions, the Colorado Springs Switchbacks. Until then, folks, keep your feet in the ground. Keep reaching for the galaxy.